Well, civil unrest is still happening in Portland and Seattle and all kinds of cities around the United States. Go figure that. Nothing has really changed since the last time I made a video. And actually, the last time I made a video during that time as a Trump supporter was shot and killed in Portland because of his political beliefs. An Antifa person that said he was 100% Antifa shot and killed this man because he was a Trump supporter. It's crazy. I cannot believe that we've gotten to this point now where it's just like, hey, depending on who your political beliefs are, it apparently is open season now, and it's crazy to see that we have reached this point in the United States. I mean, hell, some countries have this, and that's kind of like their daily lives, but it didn't used to be like that here in the United States, but it is now. So that's fantastic. So it's been a while since I've talked about this, and the one thing I wanted to talk about today is it looks like stuff's about to go down in Oregon because the governor there is apparently wanting to ask for help from local sheriff's departments around the city of Portland. And some of these sheriff's deputies said, no, we are not getting involved because the DA that is in charge of Portland is actually not bringing charges to these people. That's actually the one way that the Portland shooter got off and was able to commit his murder was because he was arrested. He wasn't charged by the DA there. He was let go. And then he killed the Trump supporter. And there's also another person, actually two other people that were killed in Portland by somebody that stabbed them. Again, somebody that was arrested for disrupting police work when they were trying to go after the rioters and whatnot. Got arrested, was released because the DA did not want to charge them, and then went up and stabbed two people. And this was a couple of months ago. It looks like people have kind of been fed up at this point, and now that this is one very interesting thing is the fact of, you know what, a lot of people have been saying, you know what, Trump needs to put in the Insurrection Act. Hey, Trump, do the Insurrection Act, do all that stuff. But apparently there's now a workaround, which is kind of interesting to where Trump is not going to have the Insurrection Act pulled because apparently the feds are now going to deputize state police. So the Oregon State Police are going to be federally deputized amid the protest in Portland and the riots in Portland. This actually is really good because not only are we going to be able to, I guess the state and the federal officers there will be able to not only arrest but also charge them federally now, because the DA there in Portland has not been charging anybody. They break the law, they assault officers, they burn down buildings, they break into stuff. I mean, hell, just a couple of days ago I was watching video and I thought just how sad it was because they broke into a building, stole some furniture, threw it out in the street, lit it on fire, and just were standing next to the fire. And I was just like, how sad can these individuals be to be able to just destroy somebody's property, throw it in the street, light it on fire, and be like, man, we did a really great thing. Great day to be alive. So now the feds are going to be able to deputize state officers, and they're going to be able to lay down the hammer to people that are doing just some of these just most despicable things. So we'll get into this article as well. One thing I want to cover too, for people that don't actually know, now this is from Seattle. This is Seattle government. These are the things that people are getting picked up on. So people arrest these, protesters. They detain them. They're sending them to the jail. They're searching them. These are the type of weapons that they have. And the crazy thing is these are the type of weapons that they have: shields, machetes, axes, spikes for vehicles, mortar shells, and whatnot. They find this on their person, and the DA is there like, hey, you know what? Just let them go. Hey, you know what? Everybody is in a fever right now because of the protest. Let's just let them go. It's just the spirit of the thing. No, these are the weapons that people are getting arrested with in their possession. This is insane. And the fact now, too, that there's more videos of in Seattle and Portland that Molotov cocktails are being thrown. I don't know how in the world we have become okay with this. This is insane to know that this type of thing is going on. And apparently... So Trump has been wanting to send in help day after day after day, saying, you know what, Oregon, Portland, Seattle, just, hey, even Chicago saying, hey, let me send in federal troops in there. Let me send in federal police officers in there to quell the violence and kind of calm everything down. Now, in Wisconsin, in Kenosha, that was, the governor said, yeah, you know what, let's do the National Guard in there and help secure the city and whatnot. So in Wisconsin, they did that. In Chicago, Seattle, Portland, no. Trump, we don't want your help. We don't want any part of you whatsoever in your involvement because you are only just making things worse. even though you offered to help send, National Guard in there and federal officers in there to tone down the violence. Okay, all right, that's fine. And now Biden's coming out saying, you know what, Trump needs to condemn this violence and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, Joe, where the hell have you been at? Like, I don't know where you've been at. And the fact that you haven't spoken up until now, 90 days have gone by since the Portland riots have gone on, and now you're just saying, you know what, Trump, you need to say something. How dare you not say and condemn the violence that's going on? I'm going to tell you right now, Antifa and BLM are destroying cities, smashing buildings, catching things on fire, assaulting police officers, and now there's 2 murders in Portland. Actually, sorry, 3 murders. 2 stabbing murders, and now a gunshot murder. I'm not understanding. I mean, the violence has been going on for a long time now, and the simple fact of Trump's been here this entire time saying, hey, you know what, I will give you help, I will give you anything you need to say the word, and the federal forces will be there. No, we're good. But it's your fault, though. It's your fault. Even though it's Antifa and BLM that are causing the violence, it's your fault. I don't understand. I don't understand it whatsoever. But also, too, I don't know if you guys knew this as well. So Portland, the Portland mayor, Ted Wheeler, I guess lived in a condo in Portland. And Antifa actually went down there and was setting fireworks down at his condo building. Just being disruptive. They pulled some furniture out, some tables and whatnot, and was burning stuff outside of his building, and also actually lighting fires in some of the storefronts that are actually surrounding his condo. But the funny thing is he's actually able to leave. He's gonna find a different location to live at because Antifa now knows exactly where he lives at. So he's gonna be able to find someplace else to live. Apparently, though, Ted Wheeler is not a poor man whatsoever. Apparently, when you get into politics, man, you make a lot of money, and apparently he has quite the dough. Actually, we'll get into this article as well, but also too, just want to show this real quick. Wheeler bought his 2-bedroom condo for $840,000 in 2017. Not a poor man. Not a poor man. He's able to move. The Portland mayor is able to move, even though he's not he's not, squashing down the violence or anything. He's not trying to get Antifa and BLM to follow the laws and everything that we've all agreed upon as a society. Nope, it's Trump's fault. I'm going to go find someplace else to live, but screw these other people that live here as well. Which is funny. Apparently, the people that live in this condo were throwing stuff out of the window, like at the protesters. So, I don't know, man. We'll get into everything, but I wanted to at least read this article to you guys about federal troops or federal officers now are deputizing the state police. Now, if you guys don't know, the state police, so a while back ago, this is a couple weeks ago, the federal officers, this was the marshals, this was, I believe, Border Patrol and a lot of other ones, were actually protecting the federal courthouse. Apparently some deal was made to where state police were going to be brought in to enforce the laws and quell some of the violence. The federal officers were going to stay inside the courthouse. Well, apparently, after a while, the state police is like, this is BS. Why am I arresting these people trying to control these riots and whatnot that happen every single day? And the DA just lets these people go. And that's, again, how we had those violent murders happen in Portland, where the DA did not charge that individual for the law that he broke, that we all agreed upon as a society to follow these laws. I'm going to let these guys go, and go figure, we have 3 murders now in Portland. So the state police said, you know what, we're not going to be a part of this whatsoever. We're going to back away because the DA is not doing anything. So again, they attacked the federal courthouse. The federal officers are coming out. Portland police are coming out there as well. So the state police backed away. Oregon governor comes out saying, you know what, we're going to bring in sheriff's department and try to quell the violence and whatnot and try to get everything under control. Sheriff's deputy said, no, we're not doing that. We were never even talked about in this plan from the Oregon governor. We are not wanting any part of this whatsoever because, again, the DA is not doing anything when it comes to these arrests. Well, now the federal officers have said, we're going to deputize state police. So the state police are coming back in. And because they are federal officers now and they're deputized, they can enforce federal laws and actually get these people federal charges since the DA is not doing it. So it's going to be interesting to see if this actually quells the violence down. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, ever since the last time I made a video, a lot of stuff has kind of happened and we're kind of seeing the break of it. So again, Oregon State Police troopers responding to the ongoing protest-related unrest in Portland have been federally deputized, state police have confirmed. State police tell the news that we're working with the U.S. Attorney's Office to review arrests made by troopers assigned to the Portland for potential prosecutions. The troopers assigned to Portland have been cross-deputized by the U.S. Marshals. Now, I will say this, man, you don't mess with the Marshals. You do not mess with the Marshals whatsoever, but it's interesting to know now that they're going to be, look, lawlessness has been happening in Portland for over 90 days now. Now, the simple fact of we have been trying to say, let's get in law enforcement, let's get the National Guard in there, let's do something to protect property, to protect innocent lives, and nothing's being done about it until now because Ted Wheeler, as well as the Oregon governor, has said, you know what? No, we don't want it. We don't want Trump's help. He's only causing division, even though he's offering aid to these people and offering law enforcement. So OSP is not criticizing any officials, and we respect the authority of the district attorney to meet the governor's charge of bringing violence to an end, and will use all lawful methods at our disposal, the state police have said. So I guess the governor has had enough at this point. I mean, it's showing up the polls. I don't know if you guys have seen other videos where apparently even CNN's like, okay, the riots are showing up the polls, they're showing up the focus group, we need to tone this down, we need to condemn it, we need to get rid of these people. So now that apparently laws are going to be enforced and we're going to be starting to arrest people. This is the one thing I don't understand, is that if there's these laws that we have written on the books that this as a society we're supposed to follow, and somebody breaks that law, breaks that thing, and they get arrested, why are they not getting charged with that crime? With whatever crime they broke, they're not getting charged with it. Doesn't make sense. You have not a few days ago when the Portland when that Trump supporter got shot and killed, there was a Trump rally in Portland where they were driving trucks through there, and they were being attacked. Both sides were attacking each other. I feel like the Antifa people were attacking the Trump supporters. The Trump supporters were just kind of defending themselves, and then you had the murder. Like, why does that happen? I mean, the Antifa has been there this entire time protesting and rioting. And then Trump supporters go in there for one day, and apparently that's a no-go. How dare those Trump supporters get in there and protest? Damn them. Well, apparently now there is another planned protest as well in Portland in honor of the person that was killed. So this will be interesting, man. I will say this. This will be an interesting thing to see and see if the hammer gets brought down on people that are breaking the law, that are causing harm to businesses and to people that live in Portland. But good Lord, man, I just cannot believe that we've been letting this go on for so long. But, you know, the federal government can only do so much. They can protect federal property, but, I mean, it's up to the city mayor, it's up to the state governor to actually lay down the law, and they haven't been wanting to do that for the longest time. So now the federal government's having to come in there and do it. I know we already talked about the weapons people are getting arrested with, but yeah, so the Portland mayor is saying that he's looking for a new place to live after his Pearl District condo building was been the site of repeated demonstrations, including on Monday when crowds demanded his resignation, and some people set fires and broke windows. So this is the funny thing. A couple of days ago, Ted Wheeler came out and said, you know what, we don't need Trump's help. We are going to enforce the laws ourselves. We are going to come together as a city and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. Antifa, I'm pretty sure either that day or the day after, came out and said, F you, Ted Wheeler. We want you to resign, and this and that. And fireworks were said, and fires were burning up the businesses around his area. And they don't care, man. They don't care whatsoever. They don't care what you're on the left or right. They have their own set agenda. And it's so funny to know that he's been defending Antifa and BLM with the violence they've been causing there. So, yeah, it's I don't understand. Like, I really don't. Kenosha, Wisconsin, they both said, or the state as well as the city are wanting the National Guard in there, wanting federal officers in there to protect property, to protect civilians, and bring law to the city, and to get everybody back to society that we know, where you follow the laws, you respect your neighbors left and right. But apparently on the West Coast, in Seattle and Portland, or hell, even Midwest, even Chicago and other places where, depending on whatever your political belief is, you can cause violence, destruction, and mayhem. And apparently on the other side, you're going to get shot and killed because you believe, I mean, you're a Trump supporter, and it's just, I don't know, man. So I just at least wanted to talk about it a little bit, and hopefully we'll see some good changes coming up before too long if federal or state troopers are actually getting federally deputized. But yeah, hopefully we'll see it in the next coming days. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about this? What do you think about state troopers being deputized now? What do you think about the weapons that they're collecting from people? I know this is in Seattle, but Portland's pretty much the same thing. Molotov cocktails are being thrown. It's just crazy. I don't get this. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about that? And then Ted Wheeler apparently owned close to $1 million condo. He's just gonna find someplace else to live because Antifa knows exactly where he lives at now. So it's crazy times, man. Crazy times. So let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think about this? And hopefully we'll see some more calming days in the future. So have a great rest of the day, guys.